Unscripted, unshackled, uncouth.
What you're about to hear is for more mature audiences only.
It's Miguel and Holly Uncensored.
Hello and welcome to Miguel and Holly Uncensored. It is our off-air podcast that we do on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We go live on the Miguel and Holly YouTube channel and the Miguel and Holly Facebook page at 10:30 when we do it. You can also listen to our other podcasts wherever you listen. Yes. On Miguel and Holly Full Show podcast, the Blown Off podcast, Queen City Confessions, a lot of different podcasts.
Yeah, it's all there.
Yes. But thank you so much for being in the Platypus Posse, and make sure to leave us a rating and review. It really helps. And we're on the road to 500. That really helps. And then we'll give away $50 to someone on Venmo somehow.
I love it.
So yeah, today I've just been weird. Friday's podcast, I sort of touched on it a little bit. And then this morning on the show, we talked about it that one of my best friends from my college group passed away last week. And these are the times doing this job that are probably the most challenging, is when you are like, nothing sounds funny or nothing feels funny.
Right.
And you have to sort of come in and like compartmentalize. And I'm sure you felt it and still feel it, Holly, since, you know, your mom's passing.
Yeah.
Whereas like sometimes I get jealous of my friends that are like, well, I'm closing my camera, or I'm turning my camera off from my work meetings and I'm going to just be in my cubicle. And I'm like, man, I wish I could do that some days, but we got to show up and show out, you know, and do our job.
Chose the entertainment business, and it's unrelenting. Like,
yeah,
right.
There is no truer statement than the show will go on.
100%. I always think of that scene from the Katy Perry movie when she just found out that Russell Brand wanted a divorce, and you see her like through text, and she's sobbing. And I just saw this for some reason. It was on TV or internet or something.
Oh, really?
And yeah, I just saw the clip again, and Katy Perry is like sobbing, and her whole team's like, holy crap, like she's
because it's like she's on stage, she's like in the middle of a show.
And so then like you just see her like wipe her face off, and then she puts her microphone up, and then she's lifted on stage to shoot cream from her boobs for California girls, and you know the whole time she's just like, I would rather be anywhere else in the world than having cream come out of my boobs right now for California girls. But that's part of
that, I think. But yes.
Yes. You go through the same thing, Miguel.
Yes. Except no cream coming out of my boobs today.
No. I mean, I hope
Save
to God not. Because yikes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, it is true that it's just like something that you kind of just have to keep walking through. Like, time stands still for you.
Right.
But keeps moving for other people. And eventually it just hurts less.
Yeah.
It doesn't ever just, oh, I got through that thing, on to the next thing.
Right.
That's not the way it goes. So it's just hard.
Yeah.
And some days are easier than others, because someday it's not going to affect you at all. It doesn't seem like that now. But eventually some days it's like you don't think about it, but then some days it just really hits you like a ton of bricks.
Yeah.
What would you want like your friends to do right now? Because I suck at taking care of friends when it comes to these kind of things, because I really don't know what to say. There's nothing really that I can say that can make you feel better other than like, I'm here for you.
No. And I think that's it. I mean, I think that there's nothing that anyone can do. And if anyone tried to do something, then it makes me feel awkward, because I'm like, I'm fine. And I've more just been, you know, trying to, as much as possible, help out. Because my friend, Brandon, he's a twin. And so I just can't imagine, you know, what his brother, and I talked to his mom, you know, the day that we all found out, and just the absolute pain, because I mean, she loved her son and he loved his mom. And I'm just more worried about like making sure that they're fine, because like, sort of like you said, like there's nothing that can be done. It's just, you know, walking through it and dealing with it. And, you know, as each milestone or, you know, thing comes up, you sort of just work through it. Because I think one of the things that just like hit me this weekend as I was like looking through videos, and I mentioned it this morning on the show, is that my friend Brandon lived in Atlanta. We went to college together to Georgia Southern, but every time I've been home to Atlanta for the holidays, for events, for work stuff, I always stayed with Brandon. Even after college, when he lived in this small ass apartment in downtown Atlanta in a rough part of town.
Yeah.
And then he lived in his grandparents' house for a little bit. And then he moved to this really cool townhouse. Then he bought a house years ago in Decatur, Georgia. And like, to me, going home is always like, I go to Brandon's and then I go see the rest of my family. And so I was like, oh my gosh, like, what do we do now? Like, it just, like, that really just hit me, is that I'm so used to, like, he was part of home for me. And now it just feels weird. Or like, we literally just last week, we booked our summer cruise for next year, and he didn't get a chance. He didn't get to go this year, but he was like, I booked my single room. I'm so excited since I missed this one this year. And so we were starting the process of like, what things are we going to do on the ship, or what are we going to get a hotel together down there? And so all these little things that you're like, wow, because it's different. Like when my grandmother passed away, where, you know, she had a few years of decline in health. And she lived a really, really good life. And she saw a lot and did a lot. And it was like, all right, well, she's in a better place now. But
well, it's also sort of like almost just the natural order of things. Like, we're supposed to lose our grandparents. Eventually we will lose our parents. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Anytime a young person dies, it's just, it feels so like, you're like, but why?
Right.
But why though?
Right. And especially when there were so many plans, you know, that you have. But I think the thing that I've also been thinking about over the past few days is he was one of those people that like literally never let life get too serious, and he always had fun. Like, he was that person that was always trying to pull me to like enjoy and like to lighten up and to have more fun and to not be, you know, so serious all the time, because he just had a very, you know, playful, serious, or a playful attitude to himself. And there's so many times when we'd be hanging out where I'm always like, Brandon, what are you doing? What are you doing? Get the tablecloth off of your face and stop running around the lobby of the hotel. But that was our friendship. And he always just, you know.
But that's delightful.
Exactly. He always brought the joy out of every situation. I mean, and even at Abe and I's wedding, because he was one of my co-best men. And the whole day, everyone was like, Brandon, don't get drunk. Brandon, don't get drunk. And then he was like, why is everyone telling me not to get drunk? And then he got drunk.
Well,
that happened.
It's because we knew. Everybody knew.
And it was so funny when he gave his speech at the wedding, and he was like sitting down with the microphone and had like a glass of wine in one hand and a microphone. And everyone was like, stand up. What are you doing? But it's like he always brought that breath of fresh air to every moment that just made you giggle. And another one of his funny traits was, Lord, he was a klepto when he drank.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yes.
Can I tell you the amount of wine glasses that he would take from cruise ships? And that bitch, he was so good at it. Like, there were times where we'd like be at a restaurant and we'd be like, wow, these are really nice wine glasses. And he'd be like, I know, all right, aren't they? And then we would be in the car and he'd be like, I got two.
But like, what? How do you not break them?
I don't know.
Where are you putting these? You have a hole somewhere up in your armpits? What?
I feel like he had like an Inspector Gadget like trench coat that he would just like put stuff in, and we'd be like, but he had the nicest wine glasses because he was always just like,
he stole them.
Swoop, swoop.
Sure did.
Good on him.
Yes, he sure did. And there was, I think the craziest time where I was like, Brandon, what are you doing? It was the rehearsal dinner for the wedding. And he took from the place where we were like something off the wall, like a sign off the wall in the bathroom. And I was like, Brandon, what are you doing?
He never graduated past that part of the college mentality, because that is so what like college kids do, right?
Frat.
Like, it's so much like, there's a road sign with my name, bro. I'm gonna get it, and then they would do it, and then it would just sit in somebody's room forever.
Yes.
Like,
oh my
your
god.
prize trophy. And then like as you grow up, you stop doing that shit because you're like, this is really causing issues for other people in society.
Businesses.
He said, I got my wine glass, girl.
Oh man.
Oh my gosh. And I think also too, just, final sort of memory on him is that he was a fearless champion for people that didn't have a voice. And so he understood, as a white gay man, that he had a lot of privilege. And so he would always stick up for people that didn't have a voice. And so anytime that there was an issue, he would go in on it no matter what it was. And bitch would never let anybody feel less than or feel like they weren't valid or seen or human. And so that was one of the things that I'll always remember about him, is that he just didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like there was one time when we were in college and we used to go to this bar called Turtles. And it was a college bar. And so we would go on Thursday nights for karaoke, and it would be like all these straight frat bros on one side, and then all the gays, we would go and we'd all be like, well, let's wait to do like our karaoke songs until like the frat bros leave to the other bar. And he would be like, I'm sorry, we paid to get here just like they did. Come on, Miguel, and made me get on stage and do Fergalicious. And I just will never forget. We're like, Fergalicious death. And our friends are like, yes! And you look over and the frat bros have their Bud Lights and they're like, what the fuck was that? And he was like, what? Say something. Say something. So that was always such a good time. So we probably won't have a podcast on Friday. His services are at the end of the week. So we probably won't be here on Friday, but I just found out they've asked me to speak at the services. So I gotta.
What an honor, though, truly.
Yeah.
I mean, to be able to eulogize a little bit about your friend. Now, is it just you, or are they having like several of the family and friends do this, or?
I'm not sure. I have to talk to his parents, I guess, later today and find out all the details.
Yeah.
To see exactly how that's going to work. And how much time I have and whatnot. So
yeah.
I'll get some more details today and find out. But I'm like, I gotta start to get to work on it. So I'm a little nervous because you want to make sure that you do well and have some emotional and also lighthearted moments as well.
Yeah. You do. And I think you'll be able to. You're a good speaker when it comes to that kind of thing. And it doesn't have to be like, 15 minutes long. I think that's sometimes it can feel like you don't want to stop.
Right.
But you don't have to do that. Like you can, do a nice 5-8 minute thing.
Yeah, no, most definitely. So that was my weekend, just navigating that and trying to sort of, wrap my brain in and thank you to everybody that's reached out. You really see how people, or even people just saying like, hey, I don't know what to say, but just sending you some love or thinking about you, like that really means a lot. And sort of back to your question, Kelvin, about what can you do? I think just saying stuff like that just helps, because there's nothing that anyone can say,
Right.
but just knowing that people are thinking about you. And, I had people that like I would never expect, reach out, which was kind of just like, oh, wow, thank you so much. I truly, truly feel the love. So thank you to everyone.
I think it's a thing like just in whatever situation we're going through in life, if you don't reach out to someone who is either going through a grief or a loss or a tough life situation or something that is hurting them, because you're like, I don't really know what to say. I don't think that's the best choice.
Right.
Because all you have to say is, I'm thinking about you. And that's it.
Right.
No one is expecting anybody else to have answers, Nobody's expecting someone to come out of the blue and be like, hey, I solved your problems for you. You're welcome.
Right.
Like, all people want to know is that you care. And
Right.
I think that means, like Miguel, you said, more than people know, just to say, oh, hey, I'm thinking about you. I got you in my prayers, whatever it is.
Most definitely.
It's important.
So thank you to everyone that has reached out. Much, much, much appreciated. Holly, how was your weekend?
It was pretty good. It was a pretty relaxing weekend. It was a little bit of up in the air because we didn't know if my daughter Maya was going to be with us or not. Because she's been at her dad's house kind of a lot over the past month, just with it being summer and stuff. Long story short, she ended up going over to his house. So we sort of had this like, okay, well, let's do the weekend. So we just we played it pretty low key. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, we just did a lot of Zelda. But like, I love those type of things because it's been a busy summer and we haven't had the chance to just sit and do a lot of nothing. Like, we had vacation that we planned and we had like, I was out of town. I went to Charlotte and like, we just did a lot of stuff and this summer. And so this was kind of a nice mini, just little weekend of nothing. Although we did like, go shopping for some stuff and we went to Home Depot and we went out to dinner and things like that. So it was very calm. And then I feel like we stumbled across, like, this is the second time we've done this type of Sunday Funday now. It's like the perfect Sunday Funday for us, where we find out either Saturday or early Sunday that Maya's not coming home that Sunday. She will be brought home on Monday or brought to camp or whatever. And so we're like, oh, we have all Sunday. Maya's not gonna be home till Monday. So then we will have some gummies
I love teddy bears.
in the right
Teddy bear
gummy worms.
God, I love
Peachy
those.
rings, whatever.
Swedish
Those are
fish.
pretty good.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll have that usually about maybe like 1 or 2, and that's a fun ramp up. And then
Yeah, a little
usually I'm
sugar
like,
rush.
I'm just gonna do, just do this and hang out. But then about 3 o'clock, I'm like, you know what? I'm having a Truly. And then about 5 o'clock, after all that's going on, we make a steak dinner.
Oh, wow.
Delicious.
It's amazing, actually.
I'm curious, Holly, whenever you all are eating your Swedish fish, wink, and then you also have a Truly or two, and Truly Holly comes out.
Yeah.
Do y'all ever...
I'm also curious about this.
Usually not on Sunday Funday.
Okay.
Usually not on Sunday Funday. Like,
It's okay.
I'm almost tired. I gotta get up at 4:15 the next morning.
She said none of that, girl.
And
I'm
also,
tired.
like, sometimes I'm like, I can sit right now. Like, I just cooked and I made myself somehow clean up this kitchen, but I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need to sit
Mm-hmm.
for a minute. Now, that's not to say that things didn't happen this weekend, because Friday and Saturday night it was a good time. Okay.
Bring back that music, girl.
Yeah. It was a real good time. Yes, it was a real good time.
Expand that family.
Yeah. Oh, stop saying that.
Sorry.
He even brought it up like multiple times the day after. He's like, that was really good. I'm like, I know. Yeah, I know. It was really good. So,
Yes.
it was really good. So we did it again Saturday.
Ooh.
But not Sunday. That's why I was like, Sunday, it's the Lord's Day.
A double play. Yes.
Triple feature.
No. So anyway, it was I feel very relaxed after this weekend, which is good, because then as you gear up for fall, and I know that I hate to bring that up on July 31st, but Maya starts school on August 9th.
Yeah.
I have a week and a half left of no breakneck speed craziness of fall. It's fall.
No.
It's fall. It's fall. Y'all, I'm
No.
sorry. I know it is 110 degrees outside.
August 1st. Yeah. Halloween
Bring it on,
decorations.
because like it's gonna be crazy. Like, I have Maya's birthday party, then I'm out of town for morning show boot camp, and then I'm out of town for Charlotte Pride, and then we have Maya again for something or other on that weekend, and then I don't even know when the next time that my person and I are gonna have a weekend with no kids. It's probably not gonna be until late September.
Oh.
The way everyone's schedule gets crazy, and with my travel schedule. So like, I just feel like it's that time of year when we're going to get ready to just put our head down and barrel towards the holidays, basically.
Oh my God.
So welcome to my world.
Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is in November.
Halloween.
Labor
Let's
Day.
not gloss over Halloween.
Well, we
I'm
don't
not
get
glossing over it.
days off for
That's
Halloween,
it.
though.
That's what it is.
True.
I look
true.
forward to our vacation.
Holly's like, so what are the dates for winter vacation this year?
I already looked it up.
It's kind of
Although
weird,
it's
too.
weird.
It's split.
It's weird. We actually need to talk about it because
No, we do.
I don't know
No,
what
do
that's gonna
tell.
look like. But so what I do is like after our like summer vacation wraps up, I'm like, we still have some summer left. And then when it's like back to school time, so like August, September, I'm like, okay, next time I get to sleep in for more than like a few days in a row is Thanksgiving. And that's just what it's just not that I don't love
Right.
what we do, but y'all, it's effing early, okay? You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So I look forward to that,
Yeah.
good chunk of time off a week or whatever where I can sleep in.
Yes.
That's what I look forward to. But I also look forward to, Halloween, of course. I love spooky season.
Mhm.
Very much looking forward to the change and maybe potentially getting a slight bit cooler. Maybe. I mean,
Listen,
global
I've
warming, I
said
don't
it
know, we'll see.
before. I'll say it again. I am not going to wish cold weather because when it gets cold here in Charlotte, we are in it until May. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm like, you know
May.
what?
How does it get warmer in Charlotte? Like that's like Ohio weather y'all dealing with. What? I thought it was
El
a little bit the
Niño.
south. Oh, is it El Nino?
Yeah, I mean, because everyone said that this was an unseasonably cold, long, cold winter, and that it's
Right.
normally not that cold that long.
That
Mhm.
bitch.
But as much as it's no longer global warming, global boiling.
Boiling, I read.
It's global boiling now.
We're frogs in the pot.
Yes.
We are sitting here. And then I saw something where it's like our body, you just have to condition your body a little at a time, and then you'll get used to sitting in the sweltering heat.
109 degrees
Mm.
at one point.
Shouldn't have to make our bodies adjust to a pot being boiled.
Too late. They said we don't give up. And so now we're boiling.
Yeah.
Great.
So that
I blame
means
the
oh,
billionaires.
100%, all of them. Every
The
single
oil companies.
except for Oprah. She's the only billionaire I don't blame.
What
She's
about
fine.
Beyonce?
No, Beyonce's fine. She's done only things to help.
Only things to help.
Yeah.
Only things to help. Apparently Beyonce is Mother Teresa.
Yeah, she
Got
is. Her and Oprah are. Yeah, no, I am loving the warm weather and the hot weather because obviously in Charlotte it's not as humid, but it is muggy here,
Yeah.
which is also a little weird. But
little
you're
humid.
not as wet though as you are like when you're in Florida.
Yeah. I
It's
agree.
Damp
Yeah.
all the time. It just feels like you can't breathe well sometimes. And then like when it rains, because it'll rain, it stormed randomly in the middle of the afternoon yesterday. I didn't expect it to. And you're like, is this going to be the afternoon rain that came through and sucked the humidity out and it's a little cooler after the rain? Is it that? Or is it the rain that douses you and then the steam comes up from the ground and everything is thick and it feels like you're in the rainforest? Or is it that one?
I feel like it's always that.
It was that one.
Anywhere.
Yeah, no,
Florida, here.
Every now and then you get the first one, but it's like a fun surprise.
I feel like yesterday here in Charlotte, it was like the cool one because it happened. I was at a birthday brunch thing for a little bit yesterday afternoon, and as they were all trying to go to the next spot, and I was trying to go home to eat my Swedish fish. I like literally out of nowhere, it just said boom, there was just a deluge of like rain and wind and people being knocked around and all that stuff. And I was like, oh my gosh. And it lasted for a good like 15 or 20 minutes or so. And then it got cool, thankfully.
Yeah.
I slept through that.
Oh, did you?
I was hungover. Yeah.
Well, that's kind of nice.
Hangover nap.
That's good.
Kelvin, how was your weekend since you were hungover?
Man, it was like not like usually I know what we're going to do for the weekends. Oscar's like, what are we doing? Who are we inviting? What are we doing? Nothing. I had nothing planned for this weekend. Friday, he wanted to get his car. So fiance Oscar got his car that he's been wanting for a really long time. And we were at the dealership and I expected it to not really take that long because we already decided on the car. We weren't going to do a test drive because he knew what he wanted, had all the financial stuff ready. We were still there for about 3 hours and like
that's what I'm
20,
saying.
30 fucking minutes.
That is the least amount of time you can spend at a car dealership.
It was like the minimum.
Yes, that's the minimum time of expectancy. It's absolutely.
What kind of car did he get?
God, I don't know. Toyota Corolla Cross. The Corolla Cross.
Look at that. Congratulations.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
That was his old one. His old Baymax is what he called it. And then now the new one is Stitch.
Nice.
And so we were there for a minute, and I think our friend was going to go on a family beach vacation. So he's like, let's hang out before you leave. So he introduced us to JB's. Is that how you say it? JB's Speakeasy.
Oh, I've never heard of it.
It's in adjacent to South End, but it's north of South Park.
Okay.
So it was around that area, right by where he lived, and I did some karaoke.
Oh.
I've done Anaconda a few times here in the Queen City, and it has not gone well for me.
Mhm.
And so I decided a third time's the charm.
Let's see if they'll like it.
Right.
And I think I did pretty well. I think I did good. I had some girls get on stage and twerk.
Okay.
A lot of people on the side, they were enjoying it. I was telling Miguel off mic, there were some bros in the corner.
Oh.
And in Anaconda, there's a part where she says the N-word, and I do not say the N-word. And so at that part, I usually just kind of like move the mic away, or like I'll do like a little like, I didn't say it, and you could hear them groan in the corner of the fucking room. And I was like, what did you expect me to, did you want me to say it? Like,
the fact that they knew the song so well, by the way, to expect it
to be like, oh,
I don't even know that I know it that well. Like,
fuck.
And were these white guys?
You know, I don't want to assume, but I'm going to say by the complexion, yes.
Ah.
And yeah, so that had happened. And then right after, actually, I threw up at that bar.
You threw?
Yes.
What?
Oh, okay, hold on. At no point in the story did you
Sorry.
make it known
It was
that
very-
you were so turned up
Oh, no.
that vomiting was
Oh, no.
close by.
I was not turned up. I was, I think, probably so exhausted. And, you know, at the dealership, I went straight after work. So I only had like maybe like a chicken sandwich here at work. So that was all that was in my system. I go there. I think maybe I have a little bit of like Chinese rice, nothing too crazy. And we go to the bar. I actually threw up first, and then I went on stage. I had a sip. I had a sip of a Vizzy. That's it. It was only a sip, and it went down so bad that I was like, I was like, guys, be right back.
Maybe it's those extra vitamins in the Vizzy because they got you.
Girl. It just made me feel so bad, and
It
like
just didn't hit right.
by throw up, it was like a little hiccup. Like I'm over dramatizing the story.
Oh, so
but
you weren't like
no. It was
You weren't
kind
like
of
sloshing to the bathroom.
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna do
I
Anaconda
was
next.
sober. I was sober. I just had a sip of my Vizzy, and I was like, this is gross. So yeah, so that happened. That was quite interesting. Then we went bowling, and I got my ass whooped by all my friends. And then I think
Did you break 100 when you were bowling?
Not even. I think I barely cracked like 60.
Oh, girl. Ooh, you should be embarrassed. Oh my God.
I was super. It wasn't until my last turn that I got a strike. I got a strike on my last turn.
Well, at least you got one.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
I remember in high school or college, I took rec games. No, it was high school because I remember the coach, he made it well known he only had one ball because he had testicular cancer. And so he would always talk about his one ball and how men should check themselves as you get older.
Yeah.
And we would be like, I remember Coach Johnson or whatever. And I'd be like, yes, Coach Johnson, you only have one ball. And he was like this old man. But anyway, it was rec games. And so we had to learn how to bowl, but then we also had to learn how to score a bowling.
Yeah, we had to learn how to score
Lord.
bowling in college. And I'm telling you what, I can't.
No, I don't know. Like what? Like in what universe do you need to know how to manually score bowling?
Because when you are at bowling and the electricity goes out and like it can't keep score for you, you need to know who wins.
You know what? I'm going home if that's the case.
Stupid. And I never got it. I was in that class with my college boyfriend and I just made him do all the work. I was like, I'm not learning this math. I'm not going to.
Like, I want to say I may, like, that may be the only time in my school that I actually cheated because I was just like, I don't care how to score a bowling game.
I know.
But I did enjoy, we did like racquetball and stuff like that. Anyway, so what was Saturday for you?
Saturday was the boop, 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 boop.
What does that mean?
That means
Can you?
Miguel, I just sat here and stared at you, slightly open mouthed, and we were both like, huh?
So what does that mean?
Huh?
We need a gay translation, please.
Sorry,
what is that?
We need a young and gay translation. Miguel's too old for that bullshit. No. Yes.
Boop, 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 boop.
Yes. That's literally what I tell Oscar when I'm in the mood to go dancing. I go, boop, 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 boop. Anyways, um,
Like, wait, what sound is that? Like, what is that?
I think
isn't it supposed to be like a club horn? Like, you
Yeah,
know,
like-
them and the
Like
clubs.
the hip hop
there's,
air
like,
horn?
Yes, like a hip hop air horn. A hip hop air horn.
Katrina. Yep. So I do all that. I can't. It's a blur in the beginning of the day, but I know by the middle, I ended up getting some tickets from work to go to the FC game. So that was really fun. I got to round up some of the girls, and they came over. We had a few Trulies. I suggested we shotgun some because I was like, come on, it's a sports game night with the boys. Let's have a good time. You cannot shotgun Trulies.
You don't want to. Actually, I feel like it would sort of ruin it.
Because I didn't get turned up on Friday. I was like, I'm gonna get turned up Saturday. So instead we just chugged it because it did not work. It spilled all over my balcony.
Oh,
Anyways,
what?
we went all the way to the game. It was super fun. I actually stayed for the majority. I always leave by halftime, but I was actually having a great time at the game. And then right after, we started getting ready to go to Miguel's place because he was like, hey, we have some friends over. We're just gonna chill and then possibly go out. Not sure. And so, of course, I came late. And then we were just there hanging out for a little bit. Then we went to Argonne and danced the night away. And I may have had way too many Trulies at that point. There was the local drag queens were there. There was a drag race girl who competed on there from season 13. I took a picture with her and realized it was fucking blurry, so I missed out on that chance. Dance with possibly every single friend I've made here in Charlotte.
Oh! I love it. There's nowhere to go to dance. Like, I want to dance.
It was a great DJ too. It was like supposed to be Latin night, and he mixed a few of the pop songs with Latin, and it was really good. Like, actually one of the best DJ sets I think that Argonne has had for a minute.
Nice.
So it was a good time.
That's fun.
Yeah.
I love that.
Came back home, and all the friends were going through it. Good old therapy sessions until like 5 a.m. But it was good. I feel like I haven't had that kind of thing with friends just yet here. So it was kind of nice to like bond.
It's so funny. Like, Kelvin has his little crew of people that they all stick together and all hang out together. So it's really cool to see it all transpire, and everyone's super nice and super friendly and everything. You made a little family here.
Yeah, took a minute, but I'm super happy.
I love it. Well, good. Everyone had a great weekend.
Yes. Oh, I got my nails done too. Hey.
Let me see them.
I love
Nail
it.
cam.
This girl is so good. It's like a little one of those like puff balls, and it's like floating out with little hearts as clouds, and it says love. What?
It looks Christmas themed. I can't see.
Oh, it does kind of, but it's like one of those dandelions. Anyway, I'm just like, just do what you want, and then he did this,
I
and
feel
I was
you
like,
always do that.
I love
I
it.
want to do that. I need to get my nails done.
So
Time.
nice.
All right, producer Kelvin, what is all of your information?
You can follow me on Instagram. I don't really X, but I do Instagram at Kelvin Live.
Oh, you don't X.
It's X, girl.
I'm
It
gonna
is.
be calling it Twitter though.
Okay.
Twitter/X.
Well, because also too, like they whatever.
But he didn't provide like a guide. We're not tweeting anymore.
No, they're
Right.
called posts now.
Post.
We're
Mhm.
posting.
That's what they're called.
Like, I don't-
Lame.
Like we used to say, like, hey, you tweet at Miguel and Holly, after blown off. So now X us.
No.
I want
I
you to
don't know.
X me real hard.
Well, I mean, that's what the logo looks like on my phone now. It looks like it's pornographic.
Right.
Like it's like, don't go in this folder. It's marked X. And it's like a black, like it's so hyper masculine. It's
Yes.
just very, the
Yeah.
whole thing is just.
And it also looks like they're like a porn headquarters now. Like there was a picture I saw on Twitter that had like them put up, because I guess Elon Musk, he's not letting the fire marshal or whoever like go up there to inspect it to make sure it's safe.
Mhm.
And so
Oh.
they had like a wide shot of the building, and it looks like a porn studio is happening there.
Well,
I mean, I still go on it because there's just some things that I follow on Twitter, whatever, that's not quite operational yet on Threads. And so Threads is just different. I don't know. Like it hasn't replaced it. And I'm like, I really hate X. I don't really like what we're doing with this. I find it very frustrating.
Like, hold on real quick. Let me just show you all this before, because it looks so stupid.
Not to mention, every time I look at the letter X, it reminds me of my college days when Exhibit had a lot of songs out.
Yes.
X gonna give it to like all that.
Like, tell me that doesn't look like porn is happening in that building right there.
Yeah, it does. Oh yeah, it sure does.
Doesn't X stand for hugs too?
X is kisses.
On a mouth hug.
Kisses. Yeah.
XO.
All right.
If it was like a cute pink, then it would be like a cute little kiss. But it's black. It's like, come here, girl, I'm gonna kiss you. The whole thing.
I'm gonna give you a mouth hug real fast. Come on. All right, leave us a review. We'll see y'all Wednesday. Bye.
Miguel and Holly Uncensored.
Catch it on the iHeartRadio app or anywhere